Hey guys, how you doing? Gavin here from Start Fresh Personal Training, and today we're going to talk about hunger. And the kind of a question I get occasionally, and something that I used to really struggle with. And in the day, the hunger can either make you happy or it can make you hungry. And we all know how you feel when you've gone too long without food and you're really grumpy. You snap at people and then you end up destroying something you shouldn't. And in the day, it's not going to be good for your weight loss or health goals. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this in a minute. And I used to, you probably heard the old thing, you need to eat every 3 hours to keep your metabolism firing and blah, blah, blah. That's not necessarily true. But what you're going to find, is, I'll show you in a second, is that every 3 to 4 hours you should be eating anyway, so you don't get angry, so you don't get grumpy and you don't get tired, and then you don't get, to a point where you're just going to grab something and overeat, okay? So, whereas, it's not necessary to be rigidly eating every 3 hours, it's probably not a bad idea to have something on hand every 3 to 4 hours. So number 1, 7 out of 10 rule, okay? Before you eat anything, you want to, on a scale of 1 to 10, your hunger needs to be around about a 7 or a 10. If you're going to go up to 10 or a 10, that's the point where it's going to be a bit like the danger zone, where you're going to end up eating things that you shouldn't eat. If you eat 7 or a 10, you've got a little bit more control about what it is you're choosing. And psychologically, okay, it's going to be really important for you to be in that zone. If you're somebody that wants to lose weight, but really struggles with going too long without food and overeating massively, 7 out of 10 is going to be a number. What does 7 out of 10 look like? It's different for you, different for me, but a general guideline is going to be your belly's going to start to rumble a little bit, and it shouldn't be to the point where you're lightheaded. It just should be you're ready. You could really eat something, and that is a time we need to eat a really good balanced meal. Alright, number 2, okay? After you've had a meal, at the time you finish the meal, your hunger scale should be around about 2 to 3 out of 10, alright? So once you've, obviously 1 would be completely stuffed, but 2 to 3, you're feeling satisfied, and that's when you should eat. So if you're eating a big meal, and it's in front of you, you need to stop at about 2 to 3 out of 10 on the scale of hunger, 1 being full, 10 being starving. And you only want to, you want to be eating to about 80% full. You don't want to be eating completely till you're stuffed, alright? So the rule of this is, number 2, 80%, be satisfied, but don't be stuffed, alright? And in the day, some people like that feeling of being really, really full and really, really stuffed. It's not going to be good for you, okay? This is where you want to be. Think about it when you're eating your meal. It's all about eating mindfully, and you want to be roughly 80% full. Alright, so we're going to be looking at now how you should feel after you've eaten. So you've eaten to 80% full. Hopefully you've had a good balanced meal. Protein, whole grains, carbohydrates, fats, water. And you want to wait for 20 minutes, okay? If you're still feeling full straight after you've eaten, have a good pint of water or a big drink and wait 20 minutes, okay? The reason being is that it takes about 20 minutes for our brains to realize we've eaten something. So what you can find is if you just mindlessly eat after you've had a big meal, and you keep on eating until you're stuffed, you've been 20 minutes has passed and you're overstuffed and you've overeaten. Wait 20 minutes before you even consider eating something else. I did a video on rebound hunger. In the day, if you're not eating wholesome food and nutrient-dense food, you're going to find a rebound hunger where your body realizes it hasn't quite had the nutrients it wants, and it sends a signal to your brain telling you're still hungry. So I'll link a video to the link to that below or above. But once you've eaten, wait 20 minutes, and after that hour, you should feel satisfied. You should not feel like eating anything else. The first hour has gone by, you should be fine and you shouldn't want to eat anything else. Alright, hour number 2. So after you've eaten number 1, by the second hour after you've eaten your last meal, you should feel a little bit hungry. You should start to feel a little bit peckish, as if you could eat something small. And a good way for me personally, the way I get around this is I'll just have a coffee or a hot drink or a big glass of water, and that usually sorts me out for just for a little while, okay? If you're absolutely starving, you think you need something to eat, then obviously have a little snack. Have, you know, a banana or a piece of fruit or whatever it is that decides for you. But after the 2 hour mark, you should start to feel a little bit hungry, but not absolutely ravenous starving. So by hour number 3, after you've had your meal, okay, you should probably start to feel about 5 to 10 of hunger, okay. So 5 or 10, obviously 10 being starving, 1 being really full. You should be about a 5. And for me personally, this is about the time when I probably need to have something to eat. Simply because I'll tend to get a little bit hangry after this point. I don't know why that is. I'm not, you know, it's not typical. It's not because I want to keep my metabolism firing. I need to eat every 3 hours, but I tend to get a bit hungry about 3 hours. And for me, this is a good point to have a snack or something to eat. And again, you know, I'll just cycle that through, get back to number 1 where I'm eating till I'm 7 to 10. Eating until I'm 80% full, and then the 3 hours sort of roll over, which means I eat about 6 times per day. That's usually what I do for me, and it's really good for you. All about thinking about what you're doing, track it over time, be aware of what you're doing. And like I said, for you, it might be 4 hours, it might be 2.5 hours, but this is where you want to start to understand your hunger cues and hunger pangs, so you can eat mindfully as opposed to just eating just because you think you should. And then we get to 4 hours, okay? 4 hours is probably the maximum amount of time you want to be leaving it before you eat something else. About 4 hours, you should be at around about 7 out of 10 for hunger. That's your cue to eat something, okay? And then you're going to go back to the start again, you're going to eat till you're 80% full, and then you're going to keep monitoring. And you know, it depends on what it is you've eaten. If you've eaten something really small, this might be 2 hours, might be 1.5 hours, whatever it is. But if you're eating substantial meals, which you should be doing anyway through the day, this is going to be a really good guide for you. So, like I said, at about the 4 hour mark, you probably want to be eating another good meal just to keep you ticking over, stop you getting hangry, stop you choosing foods you shouldn't be eating and binging on snacks and cakes that's in the office or wherever it is, okay? So, yep, pretty much it. All about hunger cues. So, pretty much it, okay? The bottom line, hunger cues, okay? Be mindful, eat mindfully. Don't just eat because there's stuff in your office or you've gone too long without eating and you stuff your face, okay? Eat mindfully. But, pay attention to your body, pay attention to your hunger cues. And you're going to learn more about yourself as well, okay? I had a client this morning, we've been using MyFitnessPal, and she's learned heaps about what she should be eating, how she's feeling, and everything else, okay? And this is going to, probably be a game changer for you, okay? If you're somebody that never really pays attention to how you eat and what you eat, if you start, listening to what I've just said and thinking about the times of day when you're hungry, you're going to be able to come up with your own strategy to get by throughout the day without feeling really, really hungry or really, really full, as some people do. And it's going to help you, take control of your own hunger, take control of your weight loss and your fitness and whatever else. And ultimately, the more you learn about yourself, the better it is, okay? Because at the end of the day, if you don't know anything about yourself, you're not going to be able to change and implement and create strategies around it. Not much else for me to say, guys, to be honest with you. Hunger cues, learn about yourself, job done. Like I said, guys, start fresh. If you don't make a change today, how will tomorrow be any different? Cheers.